So that is why from 6 p.m. on Friday, new national measures will be introduced to provide restrictions for hospitality and indoor entertainment attractions. Pubs, bars, restaurants and cafes will have to close by 6 p.m. and will not be allowed to serve alcohol.
So what have you made of the whole COVID crisis?
The whole COVID thing, obviously the early days, none of us knew what was the best thing to do. The major lockdown, we accepted it. But subsequent to that, the regulations that we've been hit with, recent requirements, to be quite honest, I begin to ask which planet are they from. It was ill-informed, ill-conceived, naive.
It's just the not knowing, it's being not in the know. We'd be given a load of rules and regulations to follow, we get all these rules and regulations in place, and then the following week there's something else. And then again the following week there's something else and there's something else. But we've risen to the occasion every single time, which I'm sure lots and lots of pubs have done. But it just seems that we're getting kicked down. Every time we change, something changes, and then we're getting kicked down. And this latest one, I have no words.
It doesn't look good, and not just for us, for a lot of pubs. I think there's going to be a lot of pubs going to be closing. Because how can you keep going in and out of lockdown? It's just ridiculous.
I thought, personally, we were going to have a lockdown to reduce everything down before Christmas and then open it up before Christmas, and which I thought was okay. And maybe after the Christmas, if they wanted to lock it down before you could get some vaccines, then, that's what I understood was going to happen. What's happened is really that they've locked it all down, and when everybody thought it was going to open, it hasn't.
Do they really believe that the youngsters, the 18 to 25-year-olds, are going to go home and sit down and have a cup of tea with mum and dad? No, they're going to be over the supermarket, getting the cans and all meeting together. At least in here, meeting together, we controlled them.
Here, you have to sign in. We even check the name to the name that's on the identification. They put a time when they come in and when they're leaving. We keep those forms and we keep those for 21 days. When you're in a house, you can't track and trace. There are no masks worn, there's nobody making sure that there's 2 metre distancing or 1.5 metre distancing, whatever you can manage in your place. There's nobody there to do that. Who's going to do that?
We're a controlled environment, we're doing everything that has been asked of us.
They're doing a great job, it's all masked, the doormen are doing a job, the owners are doing a job, the bar staff are doing their job, and I think what they're doing in the hospitality is disgusting.
If you could give Mark Drakeford a message, what would you tell him?
I would say actually do some consultation with people that run bars, rather than just, I don't know where you're getting their evidence from.
We've had no cases here. The only evidence that you do see is the supermarkets, I think it's the universities, the schools, hospitals. You can get it in hospitals worse than you can get it in a pub.
To consult publicans when you're coming up with regulations and restrictions. Speak to the people on the ground.
You need to rethink this. You really need to rethink this. You need to come in on the ground and see what this is going to do to communities, to town centres. Wrote to the First Minister, email, so they can't claim they never received it, and he didn't even get a minion to acknowledge it. And that was some 2 months ago. We've been left behind dry. The fact that we're still alive is a certain amount of reserves, which wasn't a lot, and a certain amount of borrowing. We're going to come out of this quite substantially in debt, and there was no other way other than to just walk away and say forget it.
Have the conversation rather than just making up these rules on the back of I don't even know what.
It has really become a hub for the town, a little, I don't want to say a community centre because it isn't, obviously it's a bar, it's a pub, but I mean we have people waiting to come in the mornings, they come in and they come in by themselves. but it's company for them. They come in, they have a couple of drinks, and then they probably go home by 1 o'clock, but it's just that little bit of company that they've had, and it sets them up for the day. But now we're closing down, some people are not going to have this. I feel that the mental health for all of that, it's going to suffer terribly, terribly.
Is Drakeford banned?
Totally. Anyone that's agreed with them that, and also any of the MPs, AMs that voted against giving their kids school meals while they're off. That's disgusting.
Mark Drakeford, you're barred from the back.
Barred from the country.
He's not doing a very good job, is he?